Hey guys, welcome back. So today we're going to be going over subtracting polynomials. And we'll be going over a basic review and focusing on the negative one that we don't like to talk about. So let's look at this example here. So let's start on this side here. How would you solve this expression? The first thing that comes to mind is to think of distributing this negative 2 to the 2x squared here. Negative 2 is going to be distributed to the negative 3x, and negative 2 is going to be distributed to the 2 here. So this means that I am multiplying this negative 2 to all of my terms inside my parentheses here. So this means I have negative 2 times 2x squared. This is going to give us a negative 4x squared. Then you have negative 2 times a negative 3x. This is going to give us a positive 6x because two negatives equal a positive. And then you have a negative 2 times a positive 2. This is going to give us a negative 4. Now let's look at this expression here on the right side. Notice I do not have any number here in front of my parentheses. I only have a negative. Remember, we were on this side. We said if you have a negative 2, you need to distribute this negative 2 to all of the terms inside of your parentheses. So you're going to do the same thing here. You're going to distribute this negative inside all of the terms inside your parentheses. However, when you are looking at this negative here, what number do you think should go here? It's going to be a negative 1. I cannot multiply negative 0. I can't multiply negative 2 because I don't have a 2 there. I can't multiply negative 3. I can't multiply a negative 4. The only number that I can multiply in front of my parentheses is going to be a negative 1. I'm going to multiply negative 1 times 2x squared is going to give us a negative 2x squared. Negative 1 times a negative 3x, this is going to turn to a positive 3x. Negative 1 times 2, this is going to turn into a negative 2. And this is your final answer. All right, so let's get into some examples now. I'm going to leave this little diagram up so that we can reference this because it's the same thing that we're doing when we are subtracting polynomials. So let's look at our first example. We have 3x squared plus 2x plus 5 minus 2x squared minus 3x plus 2. First, we're going to go ahead and clean this up a little bit. So we're going to do 3x squared plus 2x plus 5. Remember, you have to distribute this negative 1 that we have here inside all of the terms inside this expression. So negative 1 times 2x squared, this is going to turn into negative 2x squared. Negative 1 times 3x is going to turn to a plus 3x. And then we have negative 1 times 2. This is going to turn into a negative 2. Now let's go ahead and clean this up and bring our like terms next to each other. So we have 3x squared here and negative 2x squared. So I'm going to write 3x squared minus 2x squared. Then we have 2x here and a 3x. So I'm going to write plus 2x plus 3x. And then we have 5 and negative 2. So I'm going to write plus 5 and minus 2. Now let's go ahead and solve. 3x squared minus 2x squared. This is going to give us x squared. Then we have 2x plus 3x. This is going to give us 5x. And then we have a positive 5 minus 2. This is going to give us a positive 3. And this is your final answer. So let's look at this example here. 4x squared plus 5 minus 3x squared plus x minus 2. So first we're going to write 4x squared plus 5 minus, remember we have our negative 1 out here. We're going to distribute this negative 1 to the x squared, to the x, and to the negative 2. So negative 1 times 3x squared, this is going to give us negative 3x squared. Negative 1 times x is going to give us negative x. And then we have negative 1 times negative 2. This is going to give us a positive 2. Now let's go ahead and bring our like terms next to each other. We have 4x squared minus 3x squared. This is going to be 4x squared minus 3x squared. Then we have minus x. I'm going to write minus x here. Then we have plus 5 plus 2. I'm going to write plus 5 plus 2. Now let's solve 4x squared minus 3x squared. This is going to give us x squared minus x. I do not have any other x's. And then we have 5 plus 2. This is going to give us a positive 7. Since I cannot simplify any further, this is your final answer. Let's look at this example here. First, we're going to write x squared plus x plus 5 minus, because we have our 1 here, I'm going to distribute this negative 1 times 3x. This is going to give us a negative 3x. Negative 1 times negative 2 is going to give us a positive 2. Now we have x squared. I'm just going to write x squared here. Next, we have plus x and negative 3x. I'm going to write plus x and negative 3x. Then we have plus 5 and plus 2. I'm going to write plus 5 and plus 2. Now let's solve. So we have x squared here. I do not have any other x squared. I'm just going to write x squared. X minus 3x. This is going to give us a negative 2x. Don't forget you have your imaginary 1 out here. And then you have 5 plus 2. This is going to give us a positive 7. And this is your final answer. So let's look at this example. I'm going to clean this up a little bit. I'm going to write x cubed minus 3x squared plus 5x plus 10 minus, we have our negative 1. I'm going to distribute negative 1 times 2x squared. This is going to give us negative 2x squared. Negative 1 times negative x. This is going to give us a positive x. And then we have negative 1 times 1. This is going to give us a negative 1. Now let's go ahead and bring our like terms next to each other so that we can add or subtract. First, we have x cubed. I do not have any other x cubed anywhere, so I'm just going to write x cubed here. Next, we have negative 3x squared and negative 2x squared. So I'm going to write negative 3x squared minus 2x squared. Next, we have positive 5x and x. I'm going to write plus 5x plus x. And then we have 10 and 8 minus 1. So I'm going to write plus 10 minus 1. So let's solve. We have x cubed negative 3x squared minus 2x squared. This is going to give us negative 5x squared. 5x plus x, this is going to give us a positive 6x. And then we have 10 minus 1. This is going to give us a positive 9. Since I cannot simplify any further, this is my final answer. All right, so let's try one more example. So first, we're going to clean this up. I'm going to write 6x to the 5th plus x cubed plus x minus imaginary 1. Negative 1 times 5x to the 4th is going to equal negative 5x to the 4th. Negative 1 times negative x cubed. This is going to equal a positive x cubed. Negative 1 times 3x squared. This is going to equal negative 3x squared. Let's go ahead and bring our like terms next to each other so that we can add or subtract. First, we have x to the 5th. I do not have any other x to the 5th, so I'm just going to write 6x to the 5th. Next, we have negative 5x to the 4th, so I'm just going to write negative 5x to the 4th. Next, we have positive x cubed and another positive x cubed here. I'm going to write plus x cubed plus x cubed again. Next, we have negative 3x squared. I do not have any other ones, so I'm just going to write 3x squared here. And then we have plus x. I'm going to write plus x. Now let's go ahead and solve. So I'm going to write 6x to the 5th. I do not have any other x to the 4th, so I'm going to keep it the same, 5x to the 4th. Here we have 1x cubed plus another 1x cubed. This is going to give us a positive 2x cubed. And then here we have negative 3x squared. I do not have any other ones, so I'm just going to write negative 3x squared. And then we have a plus x. I'm just going to write plus x. Since I cannot simplify any further, this is the final answer. All right, so that is all for today, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.